Okay, guys, it's been a year since I self-published my first book ever, my poetry book, and I had this video idea in my head for weeks now, and I was thinking if I should make it, what I want to share, what I don't want to share, because mostly on YouTube or on social media, you see highlights and the wins, but the truth is that on this journey, since I published my book, I experienced a lot of failures, or I would like to say more learnings, and I have some wins to share, but there is also many mistakes I made on this journey, and that's why I'm recording this now, because I know that if I would see this video a year ago, it would help me a lot, or this kind of video. So that's why I want to share. That's why I want to reflect on this journey of what I learned, how much I made, how much I lost, Amazon ads, my mistakes, everything. I want to share it with you and be fully honest. And I'm not sure what reactions this video will get, but I want to make it. So let's go. And also one quick disclaimer, I will try not to go too much into detail with these things because then this video would be 3 hours long and nobody would watch it. But if you're interested in any of the topic we will be talking about, just let me know in the comments and we will get a look onto it, into it, at it. That's it. So let's dive into it. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, why I published my book or why I self-published my book, how it was written. And the answer is very simple: heartbreak. I got my heart broken, and writing was my coping mechanism. It was kind of the way of how I was getting my emotions out, how I was communicating with that person, even though I wasn't communicating with that person at all. And just, I wrote the first poem out of nowhere. I wrote a poem, and then I got more and more, and I very soon realized that I can get something out of it. Or not that I can get something out of it, more that I can turn it into something more meaningful. And that's how I wrote my first poetry book. And also, short disclaimer, I published this book on November 13th of 2024, and then I also published my second book on December 6th of 2024. And why I'm telling you this is because it will affect the numbers, but we will get to it in a minute. Let me just tell you, I was very productive during my heartbreak and I have no regrets. So as I was already saying, the book was written and now I just needed to find some way on how to put my book out to the world. And you can do it through publishers, which is what I start searching around, and I sent the book to like 3 publishers. I received only one reply back that they are not taking it, that they don't want it, and that was pretty much it. Also, a small note from editing me: when I was searching for those houses, I needed to find first the ones that are actually publishing poetry, because some of the publishers aren't publishing every genres, and many of the publishers aren't publishing poetry at all. So I couldn't even send them my book because their submissions for poetry were either closed or non-existent, which made my job or my chances of publishing my poetry book through official publishers even harder. I was googling for many days trying to search the perfect fit, but to be honest, I very soon found out that if you don't have audience, like online audience, your book can be the bestseller, the future bestseller, it doesn't matter, because you need to have audience. And I'm not saying it's with everything like this, and I'm also not saying that my book is the best. I'm just saying that I found some publishers that were literally like, write something about you, and in the parentheses there was like, what's your social media handlers, how much followers you have. And okay. So I very soon found out that the journey of publishing through the official publisher won't be for me at the moment, and I needed to find another way, and that's why I landed on Amazon KDP, which if you don't know what Amazon KDP is, it's a self-publishing platform. Pretty much anyone can publish their books. It doesn't matter which genre, you can publish there anything. Any books, diaries, notebooks, what you think, you can publish there. You just need to upload your manuscript, your cover, and then you need to submit it, which is a process that takes few days, and when it's submitted, it's there, outline online. And to kind of outline this process, it might be obvious, but you have to write your book, then you have to edit it, you need to create a cover, which you can hire some freelancers. I know that there are sites, I think you can hire freelancers from like 30 euros. It depends how much that freelancer has experience or what do you want from your cover. It varies. It can be, I think, anywhere from 30 to a couple of hundred. It's up to you, or you can do it yourself. And for me, I was doing it myself through the Canva. I was totally new person to the Canva. I didn't know anything about that program, but I was just sitting behind my computer for days trying to design and playing with layouts, but I did it. I managed it. It was hard. Is it perfect? No, it is not. Did I make it much more nicer when I was publishing my second book, like 1 month later? Yes, I did. But that's the process of learning. That no matter what you are doing, when you are doing it for the first time, even for the first 100 times, there is a big chance that it's not perfect because we are learning. And that was also the case, that I was designing in Canva the thing for days. Now it would took me like hours. And now when you have all those things done, you just need to upload it in KDP, which might be a little bit terrifying because there is a lot of text, a lot of sites, and a lot of don'ts and do's. It's the whole process, but there is many videos online, even here on YouTube, which I was also watching on how to do it. And when you will read through all the instructions, you will get it. But basically you can download directly from the Amazon site the templates on how to format your book, and you will also download the template of how big your cover needs to be, where to put everything. So it's pretty much straightforward, but the road is very long because you need to read through everything and you need to understand through it. But once you get it, you will upload it, then you will submit it. And I think for me it took me like 2 or 3 days for my book to be approved, and then it was online, it was suddenly published. So it was very easy and a very nice journey, because 2 years ago I had no idea that something like this exists. And if you would tell me that this kind of publishing existed like 5 years ago, my mind would be blown. Because what do you mean that I don't need to write to tens of publishers saying why I love them, why I think that my work is perfect, why I should be chosen, and what my future child will be able to do for them? Because that's, for me, that's how it feels to be published through self-publisher. And I know that this might spark some debate, or perhaps even some not negative emotions, but I know that there are people who won't agree with me. But I think that even on Instagram or TikTok, I saw people that their work, in my opinion, is not one of the best ones, or there are people who would deserve it more. I'm not even saying me, the people who would deserve it more, but they are just not getting it because their following number is not as high as those other people, which is crazy. I understand why this. Following means conversions, numbers. Everyone wants to have high numbers, but it's still a little bit crazy to me, but that's just my personal preference. And if you noticed, so far I haven't spent any money because I was writing and editing my book myself. I was creating cover through the Canva. The self-publishing process on Amazon is free, so far I just invested my time, which is also pretty awesome. But let's dive straight into numbers. The interesting part that I was kind of not sure if I want to share, because it's a little bit vulnerable, but also it feels scary perhaps a little to share those numbers with the world, with the strangers, with the people who are watching it, and especially when it's not something that, oh, look at me, I made it. But no, look at me, these were the mistakes I made. But I will be brave and I will do it. So let's dive straight into it, and I will take my laptop because I don't remember those numbers. But okay, 2 more things before we will start diving into these numbers, because this is really important, because I think this can affect any numbers hugely. I'm not sure if hugely is a word, but you know what I mean. The first thing, when I published this book, I had no audience. I had social media at that moment already, but I had like 40 followers, so I had no audience. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that I also tried Amazon ads, which, if you don't know, Amazon ads, basically when you published a book, you can run ads for the product, for a book or for any product, and it works on a click-through rate. basically on click. So, or no, not click. That's wrong explanation. If I should put it very simple, you pay for every click people do on your advertised product, which for me personally is very nice advertisement, because at least you are sure that people are seeing that product and that people are clicking on it. So it's not only hanging somewhere in the abyss, not being seen by anyone. So it's nice, but those clicks can vary. There is many aspects of it, so it depends what season it is. So for example, when I'm filming this video, it's 11th of November. 11th of November. So we are in the Christmas season already, and the cost of the clicks is getting higher because everybody wants for the product to be sold and people are buying more. So also the clicks are getting higher. They are getting more expensive. So let's say, this is just example, so don't take it too seriously, okay? So let's say you have a click that costs 50 cents during the summer. And during the summer, there's no big holiday, let's say, so there's no Halloween, no Valentine's Day, no Christmas. Basically, that's the period of time that people don't buy the things that much, or not that they don't buy it that much, but you know, during the Valentine, during the Christmas, people are buying more, logically. So when you have a period of time when there is nothing really happening, people are not buying that much, which means that also the price of those clicks is lower. So that's the first thing, that the price of those clicks is going up and down, which means that you also have to adjust that price. So the price of the click depends also on the season we are in, but it also depends on what you are targeting, because when you are targeting your ads, you have to basically attach it to something. What you can imagine under this is you can either way attach it to the words. So let's say for me it was poetry, poetry lovers, heartbreak, breakup, to the words that are kind of related to your fields. It doesn't need to be, but that's kind of the best way to go with, because if I would attach my poetry book about heartbreak to to word fishing, I guess I wouldn't be targeting my target audience and I would be losing money. The second thing is attach your product to the products in similar range. What does it mean? So for example, I have a poetry book, so I should attach that poetry book to another poetry books. So for example, when you are clicked on some book, somewhere at the bottom you will have sponsored products, and those products are not there by accident. It means that I attach my book to that another book. And with this comes the rule that you shouldn't be, for example, as I am a new author, people don't know me, they don't know my book. Basically, I am nobody in selling poetry books. People don't know me. So I shouldn't be attaching my book to the person or to the book that has like tens of thousands of sales, because they have already some ratings. My book doesn't have any rating. Even if it had a couple of ratings, when you think of like 3 ratings compared to couple of thousand ratings, it is nothing. So the likelihood that I will sell that book to the person who is looking at the book that has 10,000 of sales and like thousands of good ratings is very low. So I will just lose money, which is something I unfortunately also did, and it cost me some money. But this is general rules with Amazon ads, and this is something that I tried. So I tried Amazon ads on Amazon sites where when you clicked on my product, I will pay for it, but also it means that my product was visible, my book was visible to people who weren't even searching for it. So it was an interesting little experiment. And now let's dive into the numbers. So, as I already mentioned, I published my book in November, and in November I already made 2 sales. Already made 2 sales. One sale was from my best friend, and the other one, I think it was some stranger, which I'm so thankful. Also for my best friend, I'm just so thankful for every sale. Like, the fact that people are spending their money on my book is like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I will be endlessly thankful for each one of that person, each one of you even watching this. I'm just so grateful. So I was happy, and I am happy about it. And then in December I made 18 euros and 71 cents, which in the December I also published my second book. So from this point we are selling 2 books. And in total, the year 2024, I made 32 euros and 72 cents. But as I mentioned to you, I tried to run Amazon ads, and I started very slowly with the Amazon ads because I was also new to it. For example, I found out that I need to be adjusting those clicks after like 2 months or something like that, because you have the page where you can see all the clicks and how much they are costing, etc. And you can, for example, that you have suggested bid. So for example, if I would put word poetry, there is like suggested bid is 50 cent, but I could put like 70 cent, which would kind of put me a little bit higher over the competition that is also targeting the word poetry, but it would also cost me more. You can also put less than suggested bid, but I would say that suggested bid is kind of like the good middle ground. So and you can adjust it. And also, as I was mentioning, when you have some certain periods, Christmas, Valentine's, etc., the bids are getting higher, the bids are getting lower. And I didn't know this. So when I was looking over my page and on those numbers, I was like, am I going crazy? Why I have here 80 cents when suggested bid is 30? I was so confused, and then it hit me that, oh, it is changing, because when I was watching YouTube videos about this topic, they kind of forgot to mention it. So I was like, oh, so that was the first learning. It is changing. You have to monitor it. I know that there is already some people who kind of optimized it, and you can kind of purchase the product that will do your ads with AI and it will be run automatically. Well, but then you have to pay Amazon ads, and also you have to pay for the program, which is and those are big money. I don't have those money. So I was doing it myself. And Amazon ads during those 2 months cost me 98 euros and 63 cents, which means that I am already in minus 66 euros. So I started very strong. And that's the reality when you're trying something new, when you are learning. It doesn't need to be, but it was my reality. And if you're thinking about running Amazon ads, or if you're thinking about self-publishing, I think this is very important to know, and it can be very insightful. Then another year 2025, so this year, when I'm recording this, I went a little bit stronger on Amazon ads. And you can of course set daily budget for your Amazon ads, so you can put, I think, as little as €1 to a couple of €100, thousands. It's up to you, but I would say, like, for example, €1 is not really worth it because you will get like 2 clicks. I mean, it's better than nothing, but the chance that from those 2 people, let's say, or 3 people that will click on your product, that they will buy it, I think it's a little low, but it's better than nothing for some people, but for me it's not really worth it. So this is also to remember. But as I was saying, in year 2025, I went a little bit harder on the ads, and I remember that one week, because the Amazon ads is charging you weekly, and I remember that one time from my bank account, I could see that it was more than 200 euros. It just went away from my account, and I was like, what? And it was only for one country. I think it was for the United States, but you can also have another countries, but they are charged separately. So for example, United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, I think they are charged separately. So when I could see that only for the USA it is like more than 200 euros, I was like, that's crazy. And that was the point. I was like, okay, this needs to stop. It was on me that I set the budget that high, but I think the thing was that my budgets were never fully that my budgets were never fully spent, that my budgets were never fully spent. So I was not really thinking about it that much, but I think that week everything was fully spent all day, every day, and it hurt. So after that point I was like, this needs to stop, because the thing is that if my Amazon ads were at least bringing back the sales, so they would cover my Amazon ads, I would be fine with it. But it wasn't the case, because in year 2025, from January until October, I made €281, which is very nice considering that this was written during the nights, and this is the product, or this is something that just won't expire. Like, I will have it for the rest of my life. It's something I needed, it's something I'm super proud of, and it's not even about the sales. I'm just proud of the book. It was my dream to have book. Now I have book. It's amazing. It opened new journeys for me in my life. I'm not complaining. So it's very nice. And my highest month, if you are curious, were March, which I had 121 euro. And my lowest months were May, July, and October, which I had 0. And that's also the reality. When you don't have an audience and when you stop running the ads, the sales are not getting that much. The sales are not there. And that brings me how much I spent during the year 2025. So I think I stopped running Amazon ads in April of 2025. So I was running them only for 4 months this year, and those 4 months costed me in total 1,387 euros. When I made this summary of how much I spent on the Amazon ads, I was like, are you kidding me? It's so much. Like, that's crazy. That's so much. And considering how much I sold, it's nowhere near. When I did a quick math, I am in minus. Since I started selling my books, I am in negative 1,172 euros. And I am not going to blame Amazon ads, because I was setting up those ads, I was setting up that budget. It's up to me. I made some sale through those Amazon ads. My book was selling because of it. And I can see that now when I am not running Amazon ads, it is not selling as much, or it is not really selling. So it brought something, but I made some mistakes with those Amazon ads. I made. So let's talk, I guess, the mistake I made and what I would do differently, because we can talk about it now when you know the numbers and when you know that basically I am in negative in terms of selling my book. So let's start with the first mistake, and that's Amazon ads. And I'm not saying now that Amazon ads are bad, or as a whole, or that this can be. No, Amazon ads, I think they're pretty fair. Like, it's as any other advertisement. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty solid. It's very solid. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is on my shoulders. I made that mistake because I didn't know any better at the time, and I should be more cautious on how I'm setting those ads. I should make my budget a little bit lower, but if I didn't make those mistakes, I would never know. Like, those mistakes, or the fact that I was trying it, means that I was learning it. Yes, this learning cost me some money, but I am not really mad at myself, because first I just tried. I tried what I knew the best at the moment. I did what I thought was the best at the moment. I was truly trying. So I'm not mad at myself. Yes, it hurts me, those money, because those money, I'm not saying like those are big money, and to be losing them, it is even bigger. But it happened. And I don't want to seem to be ungrateful, or that I am like making it lighter than it is, because I'm fully aware that these money are life-changing money for some people. For some, it is just scratch. I know that there are many kinds of people, but I'm saying this as my learning. I'm saying this, that if you want to also try to do it, if you want to try Amazon ads, it can be very good. It can be very bad if you are not careful, or not very bad, but it can get expensive, because you also have to think that there are people who have specific budgets for advertisement. And trust me, those budgets can be very high. I dived into a couple of those videos where they were kind of exploring KDP, or not even exploring, but when they were starting their businesses based on KDP, and especially now as AI is kind of big now, and even like year or two ago, like some people started Amazon KDP, like self-publishing, directly from AI. They were creating low-effort books, so it started, I think, with some diaries or notepads, etc., and they were creating it in high volume, meaning that they created a couple of hundreds of those books or more. So the AI created it, and then They published it on Amazon, and they are selling it. Now the rules are a little bit more strict, and I think also people are a little bit more prone to what's AI and what's not, because we all want some human interactions. We all want something that was made from human. I'm not saying that AI is bad or the thing that AI is creating is strictly bad, but I think it should be labeled as AI and the price should be in AI level and not as if human would made it or even higher. So that's that. But you have to consider that those people have the whole businesses around this, and some people are literally spending. I saw like one example where a person spent, I think it was during December, so the highest bid numbers, they spent like more than $20,000 that month on advertisement only. So you have to also consider this, that if you are going to start your advertisement journey there, that there are also some big players who have money. And if you have some popular niche, or if you have some niche where there is a lot of people, those bids, those click numbers will be much higher. So this is something to consider, and you really need to do your research. So this was my first mistake. The second mistake, or maybe something that I didn't really thought of or kind of underestimated, is marketing. And as I previously mentioned, I already had my social media, even though I think I was really algorithm shadowed. Because, for example, on TikTok, I was publishing videos every day, but it got to the point where literally my videos got shown to like 0 people. I don't know how it is possible. I manage it. So I was adding some videos on TikTok, but as I also mentioned previously, it doesn't matter. Like if you are doing something for the first time or even for the first 100 of times, you will probably be cringe. You will probably not be as so good at it. You will need to learn. And I was learning, so I'm not saying that it was perfect, but it took me very long time. I think I realized it somewhere this year. Or not realized it, but I actually started doing it, I think somewhere around the summer this year, because I was always sharing my poetry. So I was reading poetry online to the camera, I was publishing it to the platforms, but that's it. I was only reading the poem. And do you know what was wrong with it? That I never mentioned, or not never, but from like 20 videos I published, I mentioned in one video, somewhere in the caption, that I have a poetry book. Even on my channel, it wasn't that clear that I am an author. It wasn't clear that I have a poetry book. And I'm not saying that if you will go to my channel now, you won't see it automatically that, oh, she has a book. No, you will not. But every time I'm reading a poetry now, I am ending each video that it is written here in this book and that it is available on Amazon, which is something I wasn't doing previously. So when you are thinking about it, how will people know that what I'm saying, what I'm reading, is from my poetry book? How will they know that it's already published? How will they know where it is published? They will not, because I am not telling them. And trust me, if you don't tell people, if you don't show them, if you don't hand it to the people on silver plate, they will not go that extra step. There is like very few people who will go that extra step. So that was my another mistake, that I was basically not marketing my book. And many people actually think that when you publish your book on for example, when you self-publish your book on Amazon KDP, that it is done. No, it is not. That was literally the easiest thing you did, because now you have to market that book on Amazon. I previously also told you that some people are literally building or already built their businesses on Amazon KDP, on self-publishing. So there is the amount of books that is there is insanely huge. Every day there are new books, and if you don't have name on you, if you are not some popular person or somebody who has a big audience, nobody will even know your book exists. And that's it, that you have to either run the ads that you are paying for, or you have to become a person that is advertising that book or that product. It doesn't matter what you have to advertise your product, because people will not even know that it exists. And that was the reality, that I kind of forgot to advertise my book. That I don't know what I thought, but I wasn't doing it. So that's something I started doing only very recently. Third, which I think this is not really a mistake, because I like my cover and etc., but the cover or the good cover is not optional. You truly have to have good cover and good description of the book for people to buy it, because and also people can sense, even you probably can sense it. I know that I can see it when something is made out of AI. We can see it, so you can't skip those parts. And considering that I'm talking about advertising and also about the covers, these are the two books I'm talking through the whole video. And also for the cover, so this is the first book I published, and you may think that okay, but this cover is not good. Yes, for some people it might not look good. I know it could be done better, but I think I know why I did this cover in this way. Well, first of all, yes, I didn't know any better that way, but it kind of represents what I wanted to represent, and I like it. In certain way, I like it because it's very simple and I'm okay with it. But to show you also that example, that this is something I created in the Canva when I didn't know how to create anything. Then, a month later, I was still very new, but I learned a few clicks or like few tricks in the Canva, and I created this. And this one I'm super proud of. I was creating it also for a couple of days, but I'm proud of it. And this is another cover. So I was working on those covers for days. Yes, it might not look like it. Yes, it may look like it. But when you're publishing your book or when you're publishing your product, you have to think of everything. Like, what kind of lettering will I put here? Where I will put that lettering? Oh, here, there should be also my name. Oh, I haven't thought about it. You have to also do back cover. So it is a journey of learning and creating, and many things when I look back at it, I might think or I might say that, oh, I was cringe. For example, when I look at my first poetry video and my most recent poetry video, I was such a baby in the first one. I will maybe even insert here like short clips of it to show you the difference. So, yesterday it was April Fool's Day. It carries jokes for which you don't need to pay. Hoaxes all over the small rectangle display. Light-hearted pranks are here even today. We were playing a game for months, let's call it a solitaire for once, with all the carefully planned moves and all the slowly revealed cards we couldn't lose, even though we were ignoring the game's rules. But even though like back then I was thinking that yeah, I'm a big girl, I am good. Not that I'm good at it, but I thought that I'm a big girl and that I'm not that terrible at it. And now when I'm seeing those videos, it's like, oh, you are such a baby. You don't know how to talk to the camera. You don't know how to be more naturally. You are so shy. You are so sweet. I was like that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect now. No, I'm not. But I got better, and that's what matters. That I got better, that I was doing it. I was doing Amazon ads, I was creating my own covers, I was writing my own books. I was doing it all, and by doing it, I became a little less cringe. And that's the thing you will also probably have to experience, that you will have to be cringe in order to be good. We are all cringe, even when we are good. Sometimes we are cringe, or people will find you cringe even at your best. Literally, they will find you cringe, weird, and all sorts of things, even when you are feeling your best, when you are doing your best, but it doesn't matter. You just need to be better at it and just know that you are already better at it. And that was also the journey that I needed to experience. As the fourth thing, I could say that I could do some bigger push before launch of the book, kind of advertise it more on the social media, etc. But I literally had no audience, and that's the thing, that when you don't have any audience, it is so hard. It is so much harder as when you already have audience, because I saw it many times with other creators, that when they have like couple of hundreds of thousands followers, they create some products, they publish it on the story, or they will do one short video, and they will automatically get sales. And it doesn't even matter if the product is good or not. Yes, maybe in the long run it will matter, but they will get those sales anyway. And when you don't have the audience, you will probably not get any sales, because people don't know you even exist. People don't know your products exist. And when we will be fully honest, you are not interesting for anyone. Literally, I am not interesting for any publisher. I am not interesting for any collaboration. I am just not. Even though I think I'm an amazing person, I truly think that my poetry is very good. I am not interesting at the moment for anyone because I don't have the numbers in any way they would like to see or they would like to receive from me or thanks to me. I just don't. And that's the reality that you also have to kind of work with your head and be fully honest on of what you can do and what you cannot do, of what is possible, what is not possible, what's the reality, what's not reality. So that was my mistakes or my lessons that I needed to learn the hard way or the hard way. I just needed to learn it to be the person I am today. And if I should do something differently with my next poetry book I'm writing about friendships and losing those friendships and being lonely in your mid-20s, I would say just not push it and not go as hard on myself as I can be, because sometimes I will give myself all kind of sorts. I will get myself very strict deadlines or very tight deadline, and I just don't want to give myself those deadlines because I'm now firm believer that if it's meant for me, it will be mine, and if it's not meant for me, it doesn't matter if I will publish it in 1 week or in 1 year. And maybe that's also your learning you can take from this, that if you are thinking about publishing, for example, some book or even launching your own product, I think this can apply to anything. If you're thinking about starting something, just know that it's not only one-time action, it is journey. It is journey. It doesn't matter what it is. There is like 98% chance that it will be a journey. And for it not to be journey that you will actively have to participate on, you will need to have audience, you will need to have perhaps also many teams of people who will help you with it, because otherwise you will need to write it, you will need to edit it, you will need to launch it, run those ads, advertise that product, record the video, edit the video. It doesn't matter if it's the book or if it's something else, it is a journey. And if you are already on the journey or if you're going on the journey, I just wish you nothing but the best. Just know that I'm proud of you, and it doesn't matter what mistakes you made or what mistake you will make. We are all doing those mistakes. Just people are not talking about their mistakes because, well, I would bet my finger that I would find more videos about wins online, people winning, than people losing. Because everyone wants to see only wins and what they can do and what they cannot do. Not what they cannot do. People don't want to see what they cannot do. People want to see only the dream life and what you can achieve, but the hard work or the lessons, the mistakes, those are oftentimes forgotten. So I'm proud of you and I believe in you. And that's it. So if you like this video, please let me know in the comments, because I'm still very much new to this. I'm also making many mistakes every day. I'm learning and I'm trying my best. And that's it. So have a nice day. I love you and you deserve to be loved. Bye.